What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I am DJ, aka Token Black Guy. If you're here for the first time, hit that like button, subscribe button. So yeah, I just did my review for the season finale of Halo. I know it was late. It's been a week, since the last season episode came out. But yeah, I had surgery, as you guys have probably known from my previous videos. So I've been kind of like, my days have been kind of off, and so, but finally getting to it. So after we do that, we have to watch Halo Canon for all the Easter eggs and the breakdowns, because he is one of the best in the business at it, and he always has good insight. So without further ado, let's check out Halo Canon Easter eggs for episode 9. How do you say that word? Transcendence. Yeah, Transcendence. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm still a little loopy for my pain pills. All right, so like I said, this episode I gave it a 6. It had its moments. The last battle scene was good. So let's see what it says.
Well, Canonites, we're here. Halo the series has come to its season finale, episode 9. So join me once more as we break down the Easter eggs.
Like that scene. That's a good classic Halo jump from the...
As always, I'll be comparing the series to the core canon of Halo, aka the games, books, and most other Halo media. And those comparisons should not be considered criticisms unless specified.
Yeah, fix my camera.
With that, let's dive in.
Let's
start today with the episode title once more, Transcendence. The title refers to the Covenant's goals to activate the Halo array and achieve what they believe to be divine transcendence into God. Additionally, though, it refers to Dr. Halsey's desires for humanity, as stated in the episode.
That we will achieve transcendence.
Getting into the episode itself, it picks up where episode 8 left off, with White Tower a mess following the energies unleashed by the Madrigal artifact. After checking on Kai's status, a bloody chief makes his way to the room with the artifact, only to find the charred remains of an MP and a lightly injured Miranda.
Lightly injured, a nosebleed.
John tries to catch up to her. However, he's instead confronted by Vanek, who has
Vanek was the best in this scene. Vanek was a beast. Like, he knows no shit and whatever.
Instead, John and Kai try to convince Vanek and a now conscious Riz of the truth. Captain Keyes soon appears
they keep their helmets on.
John's story in front of his daughter, no less. Though it's ultimately John's appeal to his fellow Spartans that they only have each other that gets Riz and Vanek to stand down.
So, are these the only 4 Spartans in the Silver timeline?
And while the rest of Silver Team go after Maquis, Kai elects to confront Halsey. On a quick side note, Delta 7 may be a Halo 2 reference. The second Halo ring found in the games was also known as Delta Halo, and of course, Halo loves its 7 references.
Yeah.
Fun fact for any unaware though, the Greek letter designations for the Halos, Alpha Halo, Delta Halo, so on, denote the firing order of the rings. So Installation 04, Alpha Halo fires first, followed by
I did not know that.
Beta Halo, and so on.
That's
Meanwhile,
interesting.
Maquis attempts to escape from Reach.
How?
Holding an MP at gunpoint to find the Covenant Phantom brought to Reach during episode 1. Speaking of the MPs, I was a little surprised they weren't equipped with M6 pistols of some make or the newer Mark 50 sidekick.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Spartans are too late, and Maquis escapes. I love how Riz and Vanek outpace John as they're running into the hangar, again showing just how much Mjolnir can further enhance the Spartans.
Exactly. Wear your damn suit, John.
Marines stand ready to shoot down Halsey's ship if she does not disembark. Inside, Saley is getting the ship going while Halsey remains preoccupied with the artifact. As Halsey tries to leave the ship, Aiden says,
"The package is secure. We still have options."
Which seems to refer to Halsey's clone revealed at the episode's end. The large package we saw Dr. Saley load in the previous episode was likely that clone.
Yeah.
That said, a part of me wonders if Halsey may have been in there the entire time, and the Halsey that's been on screen since probably the boarding of the ship last episode was in fact clone.
I think so too.
Hell, maybe she's been a clone all along. I doubt that, but that would be kind of funny. Anyway, in the command center, Captain Keyes orders Maquis' Phantom tracked down. At the same time, they detect Halsey's ship coming online. Luckily, since defensive systems are otherwise still coming back online, Kai makes it to the tarmac in time to damage, then board Halsey's ship. Dr. Saley tries to keep the Spartan from reaching the bridge, but doors are no match for Spartan strength. Confronting the Doctor, Kai demands her real name, her real identity. Dr. Saley attempts to knock Kai out, though that only manages to piss her off. Saley then suffering the full consequences of an angry Spartan, let's say. The shock of her actions causes Kai to pause for a moment, giving Halsey the chance she needs to escape. Unknown at the time, she escapes with a clone of herself. Kai is left alone on the damaged and failing ship and ends up crashing with it.
Yeah, we
Naturally,
know.
she survives. We still have the rest of the episode after all. And while expected, seeing her pull herself out of the fire and smoke was pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
After the opening,
I mean,
we find John
they can
in
jump from
Miranda's
damn
lab
orbit and
reviewing
land, so
security
I'm not
footage.
surprised
In
he's
the
surviving
background, we can
Crest.
hear Cortana and Miranda conversing, during which Cortana mentions Halsey having a journal that's always with her. This
Oh,
journal, Dr. Halsey's journal, was first created as a bonus for the limited and legendary editions of Halo Reach.
yeah.
John has Cortana bring up the Aspero system, once more trying to find the world Maquis mentioned. Miranda, and especially Admiral Parangoski,
I think
are
Halo Reach is
skeptical
my
of Maquis
second
being
favorite.
truthful,
Halo
but
2 is
both
my
John
favorite.
and Cortana are
all the
confident
Halo
that she was
games.
at least truthful about the planet. Remembering Maquis' prophecy,
The halo is meant to be revealed where the stars sparkle like glass.
John has Cortana analyze the gravitational field of the system. Cortana reveals that it has several, created by a network of cosmic strings, a theoretical concept in modern physics, essentially
In theory.
hiding any planet in the system.
From our point of view, a planet would appear more like fragments.
Or shards of glass.
With this new intel, Parangoski prepares to send in 12 Marine battalions, but John
Not enough.
insists that she just sends Silver Team. As we watch John suit up once more, this time in the Brock armor system, Parangoski tells him that John, so to speak, must be buried on the battlefield and that only
Exactly.
the Chief can remain, setting up
Tired of
later
John.
events in the episode. We also get a nice Halo theme sting during this scene.
Yeah.
During all this, Parangoski also mentions that this operation would be the first human incursion into Covenant space. Spartans were able to infiltrate Covenant space as early as 2526 in
Yeah,
war canon,
'cause they were
though
kids.
that wasn't exactly common throughout the war. The details on that mission are told in Halo Silent Storm.
Ooh, I haven't read that one.
Later,
Read that
as
one.
John is preparing Silver Team's Condor,
Silent
Keyes
Storm, remember
informs
that.
him that Halsey's ship was pulsed down near Manassas, a city on Reach from core canon, and the two share some words over recent events. John simply notes that a reckoning will come eventually, but not today.
Not today.
Silver Team then shows up and the Spartans prepare to depart. As they do, Kai asks whether Riz and Vanek were actually
Yeah,
going to
this is
shoot
a funny
her,
scene.
which they answer in the affirmative without hesitation. When the question is flipped on her, though, Kai also confirms that she was prepared to shoot, but
I just felt bad about it.
I love Spartan banter.
Yeah.
As the Spartans take off,
We need
get
more
a
of 'em, man.
wide shot of the
That
nearby
kind of stuff.
Reach city full of Easter eggs.
That's what I
Starting
said. This
from
show
the
had
right, we
it had its
have
moments.
Zedon Industries, the new company
Okay.
that originally operated the deuterium operation on Madrigal, and the company responsible for the rubble in the Silver timeline. Turbogen, the manufacturer of the Spade from Halo Reach. AMG Transport Dynamics way in the background.
This is the
creators
stuff
of
that I have
Warthog,
no idea
among
about.
other things. Viren Telecom, another core canon company. Dasus, a company that's been mentioned a couple times
that
in the
symbol all the
series
way over
and
there?
also exists in core canon. Liang Dortmund appears twice, first over here and again on the right, both featuring versions of the company logo. Liang Dortmund featured prominently in Halo 5. Emerson Tactical Systems, manufacturers of the Mark 50 Sidekick and Gen 2 Void Dancer class Mjolnir.
This is stuff that I have no.
and
It's just so the
Yakaprutas.
details. That's the little
Initially,
details, man.
there's
He's
a
so good at
UNSC
this.
recruitment poster here with a silhouetted Spartan, and what looks to be a screenshot from one of the pre-release Halo 2 trailers. We next briefly cut to Dr. Halsey as she's captured. Other than the capture itself, her attempted escape mirrors that of Soren to a degree. Like Soren, she was trying to escape Reach and was shot down near a forest. I might be reading too much into that, but yeah.
Okay.
Cutting then to the Covenant's holy planet.
This is where we went straight
we find
video
Maquis
game.
as she
We went straight
arrives
video
and
game on
holds
this.
the keystone. As she does, we see the show's take on honor guards, which I honestly love. Their armor is nice and colorful.
Yeah, it's
I'd
sleek.
love to see that rich color applied to more Covenant armor, and evocative of the design from the games. The temple looks like it takes heavy inspiration from the Sanghelios levels in Halo 5. The outside is adorned with Forerunner glyphs, though I wasn't able to find any exact matches. Presenting herself before the hierarchs, Regret, who is directly named in this episode, mentions that Maquis did not bring them the demon's head as promised, though Mercy is quick to dismiss this. As he proclaims that the great journey is near, Maquis asks if she'll still have a place on the path, and Mercy replies with an indirect answer. Later on, we find Mercy and Regret talking about their plans to simply use Maquis, then discard her, finally
Oh.
confirming what many suspected and hoped. Cutting
Yeah,
over
we
to
saw
Silver
that
Team,
coming.
as the rest of the Spartans are checking their gear,
It was a
Cortana
tool
tells
for them.
John about Halsey's plan to give her full control of his body and mind, not just after he had been captured by the Spartans, but even before that. When asked why she didn't go along with it, Cortana explains that she has come to believe that what Halsey wishes to eliminate from humanity is exactly what makes humans, and John, special. At the start of the series,
Yeah.
Miranda asked whether it was worth giving up humanity to avoid total annihilation, and now Cortana at the season's end gives us the answer. Credit where it's due, that's some solid thematic payoff.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the stars disappear as the Condor approaches the intense gravitation of the Asperos system. The trip
Starts
is rough,
pulling them,
as
yeah.
passing through gravity fields tends to be, the ship even warping due to the intense gravitation. They manage to get through it, however, thanks in part to some aid from Cortana, and in part due to John's connection to the artifacts. Meanwhile, on Reach, Miranda meets with Halsey and the two talk, revealing that Halsey has been ordered Article 72'd. In a callback to Episode 1, Miranda says,
Wanted you to hear it from me.
I wanted you to hear it from me.
After the conversation, we learn Jacob Keyes had been listening in, perhaps in part because Miranda isn't talking to him now.
Yeah.
Back in the Aspero system, Silver Team prepares to drop. We learn that the planet doesn't have any defenses, likely because it's so hard to find and get to. Once ready though, the Spartans, like in
Good shot.
Episode 1, drop from the Condor straight into battle. Chief even seems to drop straight onto a grunt's head. I love it. Inside the temple, Maquis, now in more ornate Covenant attire, approaches the High Prophets and artifacts. Maquis' cloak is now adorned with a Forerunner glyph, which seems to be a permutation of the Guardian glyph introduced in Halo 5. Maquis is a
Interesting.
sort of Guardian, so that seems appropriate. While Mercy talks about the fulfillment of the Great Journey and all that, an honor guard unites the two keystones. Both John and Maquis are hit by a sensation when the artifacts unite. The
is what I
Spartans are
hate,
soon
that
spotted
artifact
and the
thing.
final battle for the season begins. Mercy orders their zealots, which largely look like elite miners, to enter battle, and as we learn from Cortana a moment later, there are hundreds, all of which seem to have been hidden away in the mountain the temple sits on. Brute chieftains are also dropped in, wielding
Those are
gravity
bad.
hammers and
They were
Type
bad
25
enough.
spike rifles or spikers. As John engages the brutes, Silver Team begin fighting off the charging elites. During the battle, Vanek uses a needler, allowing us to
Yeah.
see the needles actually track their targets, which was kind of cool. Soon,
Okay,
however,
this felt like
Atriox
Halo.
joins the battle, and Riz moves to engage. However, Atriox
Ooh.
proves a formidable opponent. After dealing with the chieftains, John moves to engage Atriox.
I love
but
the
he
like
doesn't
the
fare much
POV
better.
shots.
Atriox downs John and begins crushing the Spartan's helmet with his gravity hammer, which seems to be a layered reference. First, it ultimately results in a cracked visor similar to what we saw in Halo 5, but it also echoes the first meeting with Atriox, where he crushed Douglas 042's helmet with one hand, though I do
Ooh.
believe a mechanically enhanced hand. Still, quite impressive. Maquis then goes for the artifact, touching it and incapacitating John as the two find themselves on Halo once more. Luckily, it also sends out a wave of force, like on Reach, knocking Atriox off John and sending dozens of Sangheili flying off the mountain. Kinda reminds me of the Vaki being blown away in Bionicle 2 Legends of Metro Nui. Inside the temple, the artifact shoots a sky beam
random
and begins forming
reference.
a map to Halo. Just above the artifact, we can see the Halo itself in hologram form. With Sangheili closing in and Vanek and Riz down, Kai does the only thing she can do and kills Maquis. This snaps John back to reality and stops the completion of the star chart, meaning the Covenant can't find Halo just yet. Still, Covenant forces continue to close in, and Riz suddenly gets stuck by a plasma grenade.
I wish it would
Kai
glow
tries to
more.
help, but both Spartans are hit by the explosion, and Riz is left with a particularly nasty wound.
I wonder if he's gonna
With
get an
no
artificial
other
arm like
choice,
Cat did.
John surrenders control of his body to Cortana. Like Parangoski said, John cannot exist on the battlefield, only the Master Chief. In his final act before surrendering, John manages to graze Atriox on his upper left lip, which will result in the scar he carries in Core Canon. For the record, though, Core Canon Atriox had that scar for years before 2552, and we currently don't know how he got it, let alone if it's a scar from the Chief himself. Taking one last hit from Atriox, John surrenders himself to Cortana, saying he trusts her, and Cortana takes over. John dies, and the Master Chief rises. Interestingly, this kind of reflects how the Covenant viewed demons, Spartans, in Core Canon, at least in part. According to Halo Glasslands, some among the Covenant believed that Spartans killed in action were resurrected, repaired, and redeployed. Truly, demons.
I have not read Glassland. I need to
Now
read that. I
controlling
might
the
go pick it up
Spartan,
tomorrow.
Cortana makes easy work of the Covenant with help from the Spartan's Condor. Which
Why
only
did
makes
she
me
do that at the
wonder,
beginning?
Why the hell didn't Cortana use this early?
From the beginning,
I
yeah.
couldn't find any dialogue that explains this, so the Condor's presence became more of a distraction than the awesome moment it's meant to be. Anyway, Cortana brings
what
the
helped
Condor
in the
down,
first time.
providing cover for the Spartans to escape with both artifacts. In the Condor, Chief/Cortana cauterizes Riz's wounds. I'm a little confused why they didn't use
Biofoam.
biofoam here, a medical foam meant for stuff like this, before taking direct control of the Condor. Near the city of Manassas,
I mean,
on
not really
Reach,
John,
we
it's
free
Cortana
Dr. Halsey
doing
writes in
that.
her journal. Nearby, we can spot signs for attractions that are part of the Reach heritage site of Manassas, all new to the lore, of course. I feel like the temple ruins mentioned here, though, might be a reference to the various Forerunner ruins beneath Reach. As she finishes her journal entry, a man approaches Halsey, stating he's to take her to, presumably, Manassas' space elevator, where a ship is waiting for Halsey. At Reach Command, we find that Halsey has successfully evaded the UNSC for now, having been lost over Manassas airspace. As the episode comes to a close, Kai joins the Chief in the Condor's cockpit and tries to talk to him. The Chief merely gives her a glance, not unlike his
That's
first
Chief.
meeting with Quan Ha, leaving us to wonder whether John, as we got to know him, will ever be back.
Oh,
And that concludes this
to be
breakdown
honest.
and this season of the Halo TV
Let's hear your overall
series.
opinion.
The finale was a mixed bag for me personally.
I agree.
The action was fun for the most part, but as I noted, the Condor showing up like a Deus Ex Machina towards the end of the battle kind of undercuts everything prior, at least for me.
Exactly.
Additionally, the episode was again on the shorter side and kind of felt like it was rushing to get to the end at times, while dragging its feet at others.
I
This
agree.
isn't a review or critique, so I won't get into much more detail for now. Suffice it to say, I think Season 1, despite its issues, leaves the characters and universe in a very interesting spot, one that could be capitalized on significantly. I'm currently planning a critique video for the TV series, going over what I felt worked and where I
I'm
felt
definitely going to review that. I want to
improved.
see if we had the same opinions.
With luck, the criticisms of Season 1 can be a tool for growth and improvement in Season
I
2.
agree. I
If that
hope
comes
they
to
listen
pass,
to
the Halo TV series,
the
I think,
fans.
will truly flourish. Of course,
not,
these are just my
it's
thoughts.
doomed.
Let me know yours in the comments below. This has been Halo Canon. Thank you again for joining me as we broke down the Halo TV series, and I'll see you all next time.
Yep. Thank you for your insight,
Thank you
Mr.
once again
Halo
for watching,
Cannon. Like I said, like he said, I hope they take insights. Like the show isn't dead. I just feel like I hope they take this time in between seasons and sit down and try to hash out some of the issues. And like I have no problem with them doing their own thing, but you gotta have some kind of, baseline to the core. Like, this is to do the fans, that have kept this franchise alive over the years, And I understand you have people who aren't fans of watching it, so you kind of have them appeal. But then again, they don't have to know the lore. I mean, Halo is in itself is kind of simplistic. You have an alien race, you have the humans, and the goal is to stop this killing machine. But yeah, again, like I said, I had a mixed bag about the season, a mixed bag of feeling. He said about season. I'm not saying I'm optimistic. I'm not saying I'm having negative feelings about next season. I just hope they actually go back and think about what they're gonna do. It has potential. Just what you do with that potential is all that matters. Again, go over to Halo Canon. He has many more videos on the Halo series and the Halo universe in itself. If you're into this kind of stuff, make sure you go there, subscribe to him, and also subscribe to me. Trying to get 300 subscribers, almost there. So yeah, till next time, guys, with my kind of robot Spartan arm, I'll see you when I see you. Peace.